Beach houses promise relaxation, but sometimes, the ocean brings more than just the tide. The sound of waves, the salty air, the sand, it's the perfect escape, or so it seems. The stories you're about to hear are real, submitted by people who thought they were just going on vacation. Names and locations have been changed, but the chilling events remain as they were told. Even in the most beautiful places, darkness can lurk just beneath the surface. So turn down the lights, get comfortable, and prepare for 3 true stories where dream vacations became nightmares. By the way, there's a secret clue linking all 3 stories in this video. If you get it, comment and I will pin your comment and give you a special shout out in my next video. Enjoy the full mysterious video below. Our first story takes us to the foggy Oregon coast, late summer 2017. The air was heavy with the scent of salt and pine, and the sky seemed to press down, thick with clouds. It was the kind of place where the world felt paused, suspended between land and sea, reality, and something stranger. 5 friends, Maya, Alex, Jordan, Priya, and Sam, rented a secluded beach house for one last getaway before adulthood pulled them apart. They'd grown up together, but college, jobs, and life were waiting just beyond the horizon. This trip was their way of holding on to the magic of youth for just a little longer. The house was perched above the Pacific, isolated, with only the ocean and each other for company. It stood alone on a wind-swept bluff, the nearest neighbor miles away. At night, the only sounds were the crash of waves and the distant call of seabirds. On the second night, a thick fog rolled in, swallowing the coastline and turning the world outside into a blank, shifting canvas. The fog was so dense it pressed against the windows, muffling every sound, and making the house feel like a ship adrift in a sea of white. Maya, the quiet artist of the group, stepped onto the deck for air, and vanished. She was always the one to wander off with her camera, searching for beauty in the ordinary, but this time, she left her camera behind. One moment she was there, silhouetted in the doorway, and the next, she was gone, swallowed by the fog. At first, her friends thought she was taking photos, or maybe just needed a moment alone. They laughed, called her name, and waited for her to return. But as minutes passed, unease grew. The laughter faded, replaced by nervous glances and whispered worries. Maya was never gone this long. They searched the deck, the path, the beach, calling her name into the fog. Their voices were swallowed by the mist, echoing back strangely. Flashlights cut through the white, but revealed nothing. The world felt smaller, the fog closing in around them, making every shadow seem alive. Only a single perfect barefoot print was found in the sand. No other tracks. No sign of struggle. The print was crisp, as if Maya had stepped there just moments before, but the sand around it was untouched. No sign of her coming or going. It was as if she had stepped out of the world itself. Panic set in. Police and search teams scoured the area for days, but Maya was simply gone. They brought dogs, drones, and boats, combing every inch of coastline and forest. Not a single clue was found. The fog lingered for days, as if it too was searching for answers. Theories, rogue wave, animal, abduction, none fit. The footprint was high on the sand, untouched by tide. No drag marks, no evidence of a struggle, no sign of anyone else. It was as if Maya had simply ceased to exist, leaving only a question behind. The friends were left traumatized, the case went cold, and Maya's family found no answers. The beach house, once a place of laughter and memories, became a symbol of loss. Every year, on the anniversary, her friends gather and remember, haunted by what they saw and what they didn't. To this day, Maya is missing. No trace, no closure, just a single footprint and a haunting question. Her family keeps her room just as she left it, hoping for a miracle, but the silence grows heavier with each passing year. What happened on that foggy night? Did the ocean claim her, or did something else find her on the edge of the world? Some say the Oregon coast is a place where the veil between worlds is thin, where people can slip away without a trace. Others believe Maya is still out there, lost in the mist, waiting to be found. The Oregon coast keeps its secrets, and her friends are left haunted by the memory. Sometimes, people just vanish, and sometimes the fog never gives them back. Take a second to support us by liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Thanks. Our next story takes us to the windswept coast of Maine, where the sea crashes against jagged rocks and the fog rolls in thick and silent. Here, time seems to slow, and the past lingers in the salt air. The Peterson family, eager for a summer escape, rented a centuries-old cottage known as Seawood. The house stood alone, battered by storms and history, its weathered shingles and crooked windows hinting at secrets within. From the moment they arrived, Jessica, the mother, felt a chill that had nothing to do with the ocean breeze. The air inside was heavy, as if the house itself was holding its breath. She tried to laugh it off, telling herself it was just the quirks of an old home, creaking floors, drafty halls, and the scent of forgotten years. But soon, odd things began to happen. Doors would lock themselves with a sharp, metallic click, even when no one was near. Icy drafts would snake through rooms, chilling the children as they played. At night, the family heard faint whispers, voices too soft to understand, echoing from behind the walls. The shadows seemed to move on their own, stretching and shrinking as if alive. The house felt restless, as though it was waiting for something or someone. Their daughter Emily, just 6 years old, began to talk about a sad lady who visited her room at night. She described a woman in old-fashioned clothes, her face pale and eyes full of sorrow. Emily said the lady would sit at the edge of her bed, humming lullabies that faded into sobs. Mark, ever the skeptic, dismissed Emily's stories as the product of an active imagination and the influence of spooky, bedtime tales. He reassured the family, insisting there was nothing to fear, but one stormy night, everything changed. The children's bedroom door was found bolted shut from the outside. Jessica and Mark struggled to open it, their panic rising when they realized Leo, their youngest, was missing from his bed. The only window in the room was painted shut, its frame sealed tight by layers of old paint. There was no way Leo could have left on his own. The family's fear turned to terror as they searched desperately for their son. In her frantic search, Jessica noticed a small, painted-over door in the wall, one she hadn't seen before. With trembling hands she clawed at the paint, splinters digging into her skin, until the door creaked open. Behind it, they discovered a hidden room, no bigger than a closet. There, huddled in the darkness, was Leo. He was pale, shaking, and his eyes were wide with fear. He whispered, "The sad lady told me to hide. She said the doctor was coming." The police arrived quickly, but even the officers were stunned. No one had known about the secret room. The blueprints of the house showed nothing. It was as if the room had been erased from memory, hidden away by time and grief. In the days that followed, Jessica dug into the cottage's history. She uncovered a tragedy from the 1800s. A sea captain's young son had died in that very room, quarantined by a doctor during a fever outbreak. The boy's mother, Ilara, was said to have been driven mad by grief, wandering the halls and locking doors, searching for her lost child. Neighbors whispered that Ilara's spirit never left. They spoke of seeing her shadow drifting through the house, her sorrow echoing in the empty rooms. Some believed she was still searching, still mourning, unable to let go. That night, unable to bear the weight of the house's secrets, the Petersons fled Seawood, leaving their belongings behind. The memory of what happened would haunt them far longer than any lost possessions. Leo, once a cheerful boy, rarely spoke of that night. But, for years, he woke screaming from nightmares, haunted by the image of the sad lady and the words she whispered in the dark. Some places are marked by sorrow, their walls absorbing the pain of those who lived and died within them. The tragedies of the past linger, refusing to be forgotten. The Seawood cottage still stands, battered by wind and waves, its secrets sealed behind old walls. Locals say you can hear weeping on stormy nights and see a pale figure at the window, waiting for someone who will never return. Sometimes the past refuses to stay buried. The echoes of grief and love endure, shaping the present in ways we may never understand. And sometimes, when the night is quiet and the wind howls, the house remembers everything. Our final story takes us to Florida, where Alex, a software developer, sought peace in a beach bungalow. He had been working tirelessly for years, and the stress of his job had taken a toll on him. The serene environment of the beach seemed like the perfect escape, a place where he could finally relax and find some tranquility. The locals warned him, never swim at night, the Cypress Rip current is deadly. They spoke of its unpredictable nature, how it could appear calm one moment and turn treacherous the next. Many had lost their lives to its powerful pull, and the community had learned to respect its might. Alex, confident in his swimming, ignored the advice. He had always been a strong swimmer, having competed in college and even winning several local competitions. The idea of a rip current didn't faze him. He believed he could handle whatever the ocean threw at him. On a moonlit night, he dove into the inviting water. The moonlight cast a silver glow on the waves, making the ocean look almost magical. It was a perfect night for a swim, or so he thought. The current caught him, stronger than anything he'd ever felt. It was as if the ocean had come alive, wrapping its powerful arms around him and pulling him deeper into its depths. Panic set in as he realized he was no match for the force of nature. He fought, but the ocean dragged him farther from shore. Every stroke seemed futile, as the current only grew stronger. The lights from the beach bungalow grew dimmer, and the shore became a distant memory. Exhausted, he screamed for help, his voice lost in the vast darkness. The sound of the waves crashing around him drowned out his cries, and he felt a sense of hopelessness wash over him. The Hendersons, his neighbors, heard his cries and called for help, but by the time rescuers arrived, Alex was gone. They had seen him earlier that day, full of life and energy, and now he was just a memory. His belongings remained untouched in the bungalow. His book lay open on the porch, his shoes neatly placed by the door, as if he would return at any moment. No trace of him was ever found. The ocean had swallowed him whole, leaving no evidence of his struggle. The ocean had simply erased him. It was as if he had never existed, his presence wiped clean by the relentless waves. Locals say that on stormy or moonlit nights, you can still hear desperate cries from the water. They believe that Alex's spirit lingers, forever trapped in the ocean that took his life. Some claim to see a lone figure on the shore, vanishing into the mist. They say it's Alex, still searching for a way back to the safety of the shore. Alex became the legend of the night swimmer, forever searching for the shore he'll never reach. His story serves as a haunting reminder of the ocean's power and the dangers that lurk beneath its surface. The sea gives, but it also takes, leaving only echoes behind. It is a force of nature that demands respect, and those who underestimate it do so at their own peril. A beautiful night turned into an everlasting tragedy. What started as a peaceful escape ended in a nightmare that would haunt the community forever. The ocean keeps its own. It is a mysterious and powerful entity, holding on to its secrets and those it claims, and sometimes, it never lets go. The legend of the night swimmer is a testament to the ocean's enduring grip, a story that will be told for generations to come. The ocean is powerful and mysterious, giving life but also taking it away in an instant. The stories of Maya, Leo, and Alex remind us, when we step onto the sand, we're guests in a world with its own rules. Sometimes, people vanish. Sometimes, a place is haunted by its past. Sometimes, a simple mistake is forever. Next time you book a beach house, remember, the scariest stories are the ones that really happened. Thank you to those who shared these chilling experiences. Be safe out there, and never underestimate the tide.